Hi foodies, how you doing? I made a really simple but tasty roasted chicken. I have a whole organic chicken that I got from a farm right here in Ontario. It is gorgeous, it's 3 pounds, and I cleaned it, rinsed it, pat dried it, and I took out the backbone. I saved my backbones for soup, but if you want to cook it along with this, that's fine. So all I'm doing now is just drizzling on some olive oil. I'm just going to rub it all over. If you want to, you can use a baking dish. I'm using my cast iron skillet today. Okay. So as for the backbone, if you don't want to remove it, you can just leave it intact or you could season it along with the chicken. So I just pierce the underside several times and drizzle on some olive oil here as well. I'm going to be using some powdered seasoning along with some fresh seasoning for this beautiful chicken. So I'm going in with a mixture here. This is a mixture of salt, black pepper, there's some garlic powder, there's Maggi seasoning, chicken seasoning. I will leave all the details in the description box below. Okay, so piercing the chicken or putting some slits in there just helps that seasoning to penetrate it even more. Okay, so you can do that several times and just rub that seasoning in there. In the description box, I suggest certain brands that I'm familiar with, but you can always use your favorites. Okay, just be careful when it comes to salt because you know the sodium content in different brands kind of varies. Okay, what I'm going to add now, guys, is the green seasoning. Of course, if you're into Caribbean cooking, you know that we like to add green seasoning. It's a blend of herbs and aromatics. The recipe is right here on my channel. So there's like thyme and garlic, onion, scallion, parsley, scotch bonnet pepper. Sometimes we add ginger. So just to rub that into the chicken, try to put some into those slits as well. So for that powdered seasoning mix, guys, what I did was I just combined all those dry spices together and then I just split it in half. I use half for the underside of the chicken and then once I flip it over, I'll use the rest of the seasoning. So I just added a little more seasoning here. That's it. That's the same powdered seasoning mixture. I like to season the underside first so that I don't disturb the top. Because if you season the top and then you flip it over, then you disturb it, right? So that's done. All we need to do is focus on the skin side. So the other half of that powdered seasoning mix, you're going to rub it into the chicken, lift up the chicken skin, go underneath, rub in the seasoning, rub in the green seasoning. And what I do is underneath the skin, I do put some slits into the chicken flesh. I try not to cut the skin itself. I just lift the skin, put some slits in there so you can rub the seasoning in. So we're going to add that green seasoning right now. So rub that into the chicken. Try to get some underneath the skin as well. For this roasted chicken that we're doing today, there isn't like a definite, single flavor that stands out. I just use, some really good seasoning to make this really simple but tasty roasted chicken. This is so good for meal prep. You can put it with some pasta in the week if you feel like having it with rice, or if you want to use the chicken breast on some salads. Perfect. Okay, so there isn't a distinct flavor. All right, it's not like a honey garlic or a sriracha roasted chicken, but you can check out my other recipes though if you're looking for something like that has one flavor that just stands out. After I added that green seasoning, I went in and added just a little more of my chicken seasoning. I will leave the details in the description box below for you guys, okay? And then I also sprinkled on some more paprika for color. Whenever I do a roasted chicken like this, I love to add that green seasoning on top and that paprika on top because you get that beautiful color and then some of those fresh herbs from that green seasoning, they cook up and they brown, and sometimes they get just a little bit charred, just slightly, so you get that nice texture and flavor from that. If you're able to marinate this overnight in the fridge, uncovered, yes, without any covering, just to help crisp up that skin, because what happens, it dries out the skin, so it crisps up when it's baked. So if you can do that, do that. If not, try to marinate it the same day for at least 30 minutes. So this is going to be baked, guys, at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 25 minutes. After those 25 minutes, take it out of the oven. Whether you have a cast iron skillet or baking dish, you're going to see those juices collected in there. Add some butter. You can add a tablespoon or two of butter right in there, and then just kind of gently just mix everything together. So mix that butter with the juices and baste the chicken all over. If you don't have a baster, that's fine. Use what you have at home. Just use a spoon and just pour it all over, or use your brush and brush the chicken all over. Once you've basted the chicken all over, put it back in the oven, 400 degrees Fahrenheit for another 25 minutes. So at this point, guys, we've done 50 minutes. Now we're not going to baste it again. We're just going to leave that skin alone, put it back in the oven for another 20 to 25 minutes. If you feel like the chicken is browning too fast for you, then just loosely cover it with some foil wrap and just let it continue to cook. Okay, so this is another 20 to 25 minutes at 400 degrees Fahrenheit without basting. Okay, and that's it. There is your gorgeous roasted chicken. Let me tell you something, the green seasoning, when it cooks on top of that chicken skin, it is so delicious, guys. And the chicken is very juicy. You can use the leg quarters with some rice or mashed potatoes. You could even use the chicken breast for a salad or with some pasta. It is amazing. Now, guys, for those delicious juices in the pan, you can serve them up with the chicken or turn them into a little gravy. So I added the juices to this pan. I added some chicken broth as well, and now I'm whisking in a slurry, which is a mixture of flour and water or cornstarch and water. I'm using cornstarch and water here. So I just whisk it into this, and then I'm going to allow it to simmer for at least 2 minutes to get rid of that starchy flavor. When it comes to gravies, it can be simple or it can be extravagant. Okay, this is a very simple one. All I'm going to add now is a little ketchup and a little more chicken seasoning and black pepper. That's it. Give it a taste. If you're happy, then you're good to go. Okay, sometimes when I'm making gravy, I will add my scotch bonnet and thyme, allspice berries, Worcestershire sauce, a bunch of stuff. This is a very simple gravy and a small amount, so it's really up to you. You can adjust to your liking. Okay, but that's it. You have a really simple gravy to go with your chicken if you want to. Okay, this is really good with some mashed potatoes, of course, or some rice, whatever side dish you prefer. It works great. So that's it. Super simple, delicious roasted chicken along with an easy gravy. I really hope you guys enjoy this because I loved every bit of it. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.